A dangerous and historic severe weather outbreak is unfolding today across a large portion of the United States. Multiple rounds of violent storms, including strong tornadoes, destructive hail, and damaging winds, are expected over the coming days. This is a serious and life-threatening situation, and everyone in the affected areas must stay alert and prepared. Storms are expected to fire up this afternoon, stretching from Texas and Oklahoma northward through the Midwest and into the Great Lakes region. The atmosphere today is primed for explosive storm development, and conditions are coming together in a way that forecasters rarely see. This is not a situation to take lightly. The Storm Prediction Center has issued an enhanced risk of severe weather for a significant portion of the central and upper Midwest. Cities including Des Moines, Chicago, and Milwaukee fall within this highest concern zone, where the greatest threat for very large hail and strong tornadoes will develop this afternoon and into the evening hours. A slight risk of severe weather extends across a much broader area, reaching from Abilene, Texas, all the way to Cleveland and Detroit. Even the Northeast is not immune today, with a slight risk in place there as well, and a marginal risk stretching as far east as Cape Cod, Massachusetts. In short, a very large part of the country is in play today. One of the biggest threats today will be damaging wind gusts. Widespread gusts between 50 and 70 miles per hour are expected across the affected region. These kinds of winds can bring down trees, snap power lines, damage structures, and make driving extremely hazardous. Anyone caught outdoors during these storms could be in serious danger. Large to very large hail is also a major concern throughout this outbreak. Hail activity that has already been observed in Minnesota is shifting to the southeast, and it will continue to impact a huge swath of the country. From Texas and Oklahoma City, through Kansas City, and up into Milwaukee and Chicago, hail the size of apples is possible. This kind of hail can smash car windows, destroy crops, and cause severe injuries to anyone caught outside. If you have vehicles or sensitive property outdoors, take protective measures now before the storms arrive. The most dangerous threat today is the possibility of strong tornadoes. Two primary corridors are being closely watched by meteorologists. The first is across the Midwest, specifically targeting Milwaukee, Des Moines, and Chicago. In this zone, a few strong, long-track tornadoes appear likely. This is a densely populated region, and a significant tornado in or near any of these cities would be catastrophic. The second corridor is along the dry line to the south and west. Isolated supercell thunderstorms in this area have the potential to produce tornadoes similar to the violent ones recently seen in Kansas. Even areas outside these two main corridors, including Detroit, Indianapolis, Springfield in Illinois, and parts of South Texas, should not let their guard down. Tornadoes can and may occur with less warning in areas tagged with lower risks. The atmospheric setup driving this outbreak is, well, extraordinary. Instability values are reaching up to 5,000 joules per kilogram in portions of Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Values around 4,000 joules per kilogram are present across Oklahoma and Texas. These numbers are exceptionally high, reflecting an atmosphere loaded with energy just waiting to be released. When you combine that level of instability with strong wind shear and high moisture, the result is an environment that is extremely supportive of tornado development and violent supercell thunderstorms. Storms are expected to begin developing between 2 and 3 in the afternoon across Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois. When these storms initially fire up, very large hail will be the primary threat. However, conditions will evolve rapidly. As supercells organize and strengthen through the afternoon, the tornado threat will escalate quickly. Tornado warnings could begin as early as 4 to 5 in the afternoon, especially across southern Wisconsin. As the evening progresses, the storm line will push eastward, bringing significant tornadoes and widespread severe weather with it. Anyone in these areas needs to have their weather alerts activated and a shelter plan in place well before storms arrive. Additional supercell thunderstorms may develop near Kansas City, Tulsa, and along the Red River Valley during this same time period. These storms will also carry risks of large hail and strong tornadoes. By late evening, some storms may begin to organize into larger clusters, which can produce widespread damaging winds and tornadoes embedded within the squall line as they track into the Midwest and Great Lakes. Overnight, the storm activity will continue without a real break. As Tuesday's storms roll through, the atmosphere will already be setting the stage for the next round of severe weather on Wednesday. This is not a one-day event. This is a multi-day dangerous outbreak. On Wednesday, the severe weather threat continues across many of the same regions, though the overall risk may be marginally lower. Two slight risk areas are expected to be in place. One stretches from Milwaukee southward to Wichita Falls, Texas. The other covers parts of Ohio and Pennsylvania. The main threats on Wednesday will again be damaging winds and large hail, with tornadoes also possible, particularly in the vicinity of Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Thursday looks to offer a somewhat lower threat level across the region. Isolated severe storms remain possible, but the environment is not expected to be as explosively dangerous as Tuesday and Wednesday. Residents in the affected areas should use Thursday as an opportunity to recover, assess any damage, and prepare for what comes next, because Friday is shaping up to be another significant severe weather day. A new and organized outbreak is expected to develop across Minnesota, Wisconsin, Texas, and Oklahoma. Damaging winds, large hail, and possible tornadoes are all on the table again. The atmosphere will reload once more, and the cycle of dangerous weather will continue. Even into Saturday, the severe weather threat does not disappear. Scattered severe storms are expected from Detroit all the way south to Houston. Isolated damaging wind events and a few tornadoes will remain possible across this broad corridor. It will not be until Sunday and Monday that residents may finally catch a brief break from the relentless pattern. However, do not get too comfortable. Early indications suggest that additional severe weather could return as early as next week, as the overall atmospheric pattern shows no signs of breaking down in any meaningful way. This is a prolonged and extremely dangerous severe weather pattern. The risk is not limited to just one community, one state, or one day. It spans hundreds of miles and multiple days, and it demands the full attention of everyone living across the central and eastern United States right now. USA Storm Center urges everyone in the path of these storms to take immediate action. Download a reliable weather app and make sure push notifications and emergency alerts are enabled on your phone. Know where your nearest shelter is before the storms arrive. If you live in a mobile home or temporary structure, identify a more sturdy building nearby where you can take cover. Do not wait until a tornado warning is issued to begin moving to shelter. By the time the warning is issued, you may only have minutes to act. Have a plan in place now, share it with your family, and make sure children and elderly relatives understand what to do when severe weather strikes. Stay with USA Storm Center for continuous updates as this dangerous outbreak unfolds. Share this information with friends and family across the affected areas. Staying informed and being